This conference will now be recorded.
Hi Bhargav, good morning. Hi Deba. Hello Sai, welcome. So let's proceed. So we have learned modules like command module, shell module, user module, isn't it? Service module. We have seen modules yesterday. Let's continue our discussion. Today we'll be learning about file module. So learning Ansible is nothing but understanding these modules and using these modules and doing the required configurations. Okay. Okay. So So today we'll be discussing about file module. So I have already started controller and manager nodes. We know that we have one controllers and three manager nodes. Node 1, node 2, node 3, controller.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. First,
Yes, I.
Ansible first class, we configured the three servers, right? We installing the softwares and everything. Every server we
Yes.
install, right?
Passwordless
Apart from
connections
this,
between controller and the manager nodes
yes.
also we have done it.
Apart from this, we install only in controller. It will be possible.
We have installed Ansible only in the controller machine side, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm asking.
We have
We
not.
install the three
We have
servers
not.
separately, right?
Yes.
We install in controller also one more time.
What we have installed?
In passwordless connection, and we give the Ubuntu website, all everything. First day of class.
Yes. We have done it.
Without installing three servers, we only install only one controller one time. It will be processed to
Okay.
three servers or not sure. Hello, did you get the question, sir?
No, actually, no. The point is, clients will have hundreds of servers side. Okay, clients will have numerous servers. Let's say there are clients who may maintain 20 servers, 30 servers, 100 servers. Okay, so we will be installing one extra machine. We'll be creating one extra machine, installing Ansible in it. Okay, Sai,
Okay.
did you understand? We'll be installing one additional. We'll be creating one additional machine. We'll install Ansible in it, and we name it as controller. From that controller machine, we will be communicating to all the managed nodes and perform the required configuration.
Yeah,
Got it?
I will speak in Telugu, sir, for my question.
Yes, tell me.
సార్ ఎస్టర్డే మన కంట్రోలర్ లో ఒక ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే ఫైల్ 1 అనేది 3 సర్వర్స్ కి ఫైల్స్ అనేవి క్రియేట్ అయిపోయాయి.
కాదు, కంట్రోలర్ లో మనం ఫైల్ 1 క్రియేట్ చేయలేదు.
టచ్
కంట్రోలర్ లో
ఫైల్ 1 అనేది
ఫైల్
క్రియేట్ చేశాను.
మాడ్యూల్ ద్వారా దేంట్లో క్రియేట్ చేసాము? నిన్నటి నోట్స్ చూద్దాం.
కంట్రోలర్ సర్వర్ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తాను.
నేను చూడండి. Yesterday's notes 14th.
15th సెప్టెంబర్
15th కదా?
yes
15th Ansible, yes. This one.
starting first scenario. Scroll down after command. Here, sir.
ఈ కమాండ్ మనం ఎక్కడ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తాము చెప్పండి.
Controller లో.
First we'll connect controller machine. First let's connect it. The user interface has been changed in the EC2.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
There only SSH command is there, sir. Drop down the action button. Connect and SSH client.
Let's open the terminal. Okay. When you run this command, let's not make it file one. File one is already available, so let's make it as file. Sai, when you done this command, this command will not execute in the controller machine. File2 will not be created in the controller machine. File2 will be created. This command will execute 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and file2 will be created in server 1, server 2, and server 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Now tell
for
me your
my
doubt.
question, my question is,
చెప్పండి మీ డౌట్ ఏంటి
చెప్పండి. ఇక్కడ మనము సర్వర్ 1 లో, సర్వర్ 2, సర్వర్ 3 లో పైథాన్ ని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసాము, డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసి పైథాన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ వర్షన్ ని డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసి,
దీంట్లో కూడా పైథాన్ డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసాం, కంట్రోలర్ లో కూడా పైథాన్ డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసాం.
ఇన్నిసార్లు డౌన్లోడ్ చేసే బదులు మనం కంట్రోలర్ లో వన్ టైం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తే డైరెక్ట్ గా 3 సర్వర్స్ కి ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ అవుతుందా అవ్వదా?
పైథాన్ కమ్యూనికేట్ కావాలంటే పైథాన్ 2 వర్షన్ ఉండాలి, లేకపోతే కమ్యూనికేట్ అవ్వదు.
అవును, ఇప్పుడు కంట్రోలర్ లోనే మొత్తం పైథాన్ 2 వర్షన్ ని డౌన్లోడ్ చేసిన తర్వాత సపరేట్ గా 3 సర్వర్ 1, సర్వర్ 2, సర్వర్ 3 లో చేయకుండా ఓన్లీ కంట్రోలర్ లో చేస్తే అవి డైరెక్ట్ కమ్యూనికేట్ ఆటోమేటిక్ గా సర్వర్స్ లో ఇన్స్టాల్ అవుతాయి.
సేమ్ వర్షన్ ఆఫ్ పైథాన్ ఉండాలి. కంట్రోలర్ లో ఏ వర్షన్ ఆఫ్ పైథాన్ ఉందో సర్వర్ 1, సర్వర్ 2, సర్వర్ 3 అదే వర్షన్ ఆఫ్ పైథాన్, దట్ టు పైథాన్ 2 ఉంటేనే ఆన్సిబుల్ కమాండ్ రన్ అవుతుంది. అదర్వైజ్ ఆన్సిబుల్ కమాండ్ రన్ అవ్వదు.
నేనేమో చెప్తున్నానంటే మనం సర్వర్ 1, సర్వర్ 2, సర్వర్ 3 లో 3 దాంట్లో పైథాన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసాము.
మనం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి, ఆల్రెడీ ప్రీ డిఫాల్ట్ పైథాన్ వచ్చేసింది.
ఆల్రెడీ ప్రీ డిఫైన్ ఉండేది, డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసాం వర్షన్ ని.
చేసాం.
దాని బదులు అది అలా చేయకుండా సర్వర్స్ లో ఓన్లీ కంట్రోలర్ లోనే మనము డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేస్తే 3 సర్వర్స్ కి ఆటోమేటిక్ గా అవుతుందా అవ్వదా?
కాదు. ఓకే, ఇండివిజువల్ మెషిన్ మనం డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసుకోవాలి.
ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు మనం టచ్ ఫైల్ ని రన్ చేస్తే 3 సర్వర్స్ లో ఫైల్స్ ఎలా క్రియేట్ అయ్యాయో ఓన్లీ కంట్రోలర్ లోనే మనము డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసి 3 సర్వర్స్ లో కూడా అవుతాయా అవ్వవా అనేసి నా క్వశ్చన్.
కాదు, ఈ టచ్ కమాండ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ఎప్పుడైంది? డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేసాం కాబట్టి ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయింది. ఈ యాన్సిబుల్ కమాండ్, యాన్సిబుల్ అనే కమాండ్ ఎప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది? పైథాన్ 2 ఉంటేనే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. పైథాన్ 2 డౌన్ గ్రేడ్
కంట్రోలర్ కూడా
యాన్సిబుల్ వాడలేం. ఓకే, యాన్సిబుల్ ఎప్పుడు యాన్సిబుల్ వాడాలంటే కమ్యూనికేట్ అవ్వాలి. కమ్యూనికేట్ అవ్వాలంటే పైథాన్ 2 ఉండాలి. ఓకే,
అవును సార్, మనము సర్వర్ 1 3 సర్వర్స్ లో పైథాన్ ని డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేయకుండా ఓన్లీ కంట్రోలర్ లోనే డౌన్ గ్రేడ్ చేస్తే ఆ 3 సర్వర్స్ కి కనెక్ట్ అవుతుందని అడుగుతున్నాను. మనం ఇండివిజువల్ గా ఎన్ని సర్వర్స్ కానీ ప్రతి టైం మనం చేసుకుంటా వెళ్ళకూడదు.
వన్ టైం ప్రాసెస్. వన్ టైం ప్రాసెస్, కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ చేయాల్సిందే, అప్పుడే
ఓకే
ఆన్సిబుల్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా రన్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, కంట్రోలర్
ఓకే
ద్వారా
సార్
డౌన్గ్రేడ్ చేయడం అన్నది కుదరదు, అవ్వదు. ఓకే
ఓకే ఓకే సార్
ఓకే
థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ యువర్
okay
రెస్పాన్స్.
so let's proceed. No problem. So today we are learning about file module. File module is used for creating files. ఎట్లాగో మనకి టచ్ కమాండ్ ద్వారా చేయొచ్చు, బట్ we have a special module called as file module. File module, the purpose of the file module is to create files and folders in the manager nodes. Okay, for not only files, file module is used for creating directories also. For example, look at this command, Ansible all. File module, file module arguments. This is the name of the file which I want to create in the temporary directory. State equal to touch. State equal to touch is used if you want to create a file. State equal to directory we use if you want to create a directory. File module purpose is used for creating files as well as directories. So I run the first command. Okay, yes, changed IP address 1, IP address 2, IP address 3. Done. File has been created. Now if you want to check whether the file has been created or not, you know how to check it. Go to any specific IP address, any machine. Go to where the file has been created. I have mentioned the path. Go to temporary directory. Can you see? We have to see the file, right? /temp ls. We have to see the file. Testing. Is it the right? We should able to see the file, right? /temp/file. Yes. Change it equal to true. Let's go to any specific IP address. Any specific IP address. Let's proceed. File has been created. So we have successfully created files in all the manager nodes at once using the file module. Exit to come back to the controller machine. If you want to create a directory, very simple, same as usual, state equal to touch for creating a file, state equal to directory for creating a directory. So let's proceed. Directory got created. If you want to verify as usual, you can go to that particular any manager node. Let's say I want to go to manager nodes whose IP address ending with 33. Where did I create the directory? Under again temporary directory. So go to temporary location. Yes. Can you see the directory has been created? So file module is for creating file as well as creating the directories. If you want to delete file you have created, so you have created file in all the managed nodes. Let's say if you want to delete a file in all the managed nodes, so mention the file name which you want to delete. Let's say I want to delete file 5. State equal to absent. For deleting the file. Sorry, you need to go to controller machine. Done. You have successfully deleted a file. Change true. Next, remember, change it should be true, and you get in yellow color. That's a proof that it has been successfully executed. So we have learned the purpose of the file module. File module is for creating files and directories on the managed nodes. Okay. Okay.
Only single file or multiple files we need to create?
One, if you want to create multiple files, you should write multiple commands. One Ansible command will help you to create only one file. If you want to
Okay.
create multiple files, you need to run the Ansible command multiple times.
If I need to
Okay.
create 1,000 files, I need 2,000 commands in it, right?
Yes. So you have to run 1,000 commands, which is practically impossible. So we use the concept of playbooks. So you can perform configurations using commands and you can playbook. So playbooks is an advantage. Okay. So playbooks, you
Okay.
can use a concept of loops and then you can run the command multiple times. We'll see that soon. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No, this is all not required. So, okay. Now look at this. I want to create tomcat-users.xml file in the controller machine. In the controller machine, I want to create one file. What file? Some tomcat-users.xml file which I want to create in the controller machine. And then once the file is created in the controller machine, I want to copy that file to the manager nodes. So two things we want to do. First, I want to create a file because I want the file to be copied. So I want to create a file in the controller machine, and then that file I want to copy it into all the manager nodes. When you want to create a file, you know, file module is for creating the file. And then if you want to copy that file into the manager node, we have a copy module. Copy module is used for copying the file from the controller to the manager nodes, isn't it? So what I'm doing, I'm creating a file. Name of the file, I'm writing it as tomcat-users.xml file. I hope you remember this is the XML file wherein which we create a users in Tomcat, isn't it? So this is a user which I'm creating. So let me create a first tomcat-users.xml file. Once the file has been created, okay, look at this Ansible all. What module I'm using? Copy module. Arguments. The purpose of the copy module is used to copy the file. And you should mention source. What file you want to copy? Obviously, tomcat-users.xml file you want to copy. Where you want to copy? Obviously, you want to copy it in the manager node, but in the manager node, do you want to copy it in the root directory or any temporary directory where you want to copy? I want to copy it in /etc/tomcat8. In this particular directory, I want to copy that particular file. -b, we have seen it in the last class for higher privileges. Yes. File created, already file has created, and then using the manually have created the file, and then I have copied the file. Now, if you want to check whether the tomcat-users.xml file is really available or not, go to any specific IP address. Look at this tomcat-users.xml file. Cat, you can see, okay. If you want to read that, same content. Am I right? That's it. To come back to the controller machine. Clear about this? So purpose of the copy module is for copying the file from the controller to the manager nodes. Any file you can copy. Let's say, for example, Ansible command to copy password file. We know in Linux we have a password file where we have list of all the users. If you want to copy that file, yes, you can do that. Copy, mention the password file. Password file will be available in etc and destination where you want to copy them. Temporary file, temporary directory if you want to copy. So when you do this, what will happen? Yes, password file has been copied. Same example, like how I have shown you tomcat-users.xml file. Here I'm copying a different file. Clear about this? Okay. Okay. Next point. I want to discuss about few more options in the copy module. Look at this. I want to create a file in the controller machine, like how just I have created tomcat-users.xml file. I want to create a particular file in the controller machine. Okay. Any file name, let's say I'm creating a new file name. I'm writing some contents into the file. In the controller machine, right? I'm creating a file. Control D to come up to the capcom. File has been created. ls-l to see the list of permissions. The new file one which you have created, you can say read, write, read, write, read. This is the current permissions in the file which I have created. I have created a file in the controller machine. The name of the file is new file and this is having these permissions. That's fine. Okay. Next, what I want to do, when we copy that file, we have the same permissions. Which permissions we have it in the controller machine? The same permissions will also be copied. Even not only the file, even the permissions will also be the same. The file will have same permissions in server 1, server 2, server 3. Okay, so contents of the file along with the permissions will also be copied. Now look at this. Ansible all copy module. This is the file and here I want to copy it. Yes. I want to go to any particular manager node. And ls-l for which file name? New file 1. Same permissions, read, write, read. Whatever the permissions which we have in the controller machine, the same permissions will also be copied into the manager nodes. Permissions will not change. Exit to come back to the controller machine. Now the point is command to copy with changes permissions. Changed permissions. I want to copy as well as at the time of copying, the controller manager node should not have the same permissions. It should have different permissions. Look at this. Ansible all copy module argument source, which file you want to copy, destination, in which location you want to copy, owner of the file should be root. These are all owner information, isn't it? Ubuntu is actually the root owner of the file and the group which the file belongs to. I'm also changing the owner. I'm also changing the group and mode. Mode is just changing the permission. 7 for all permissions for owner, this is for groups, this is for other. Before I have become for higher privilege. So what happens when you do this? The file gets copied, no doubt. Owner of the file changes, the group the file belongs changes, and the permissions of the file will also be changes. Yes. Go to the manager node. What is the name of the file? New file. Owner was previously Ubuntu, now root and root, and I have changed the permissions. Others are not having permissions, and I have changed the permissions. Yes. So by using this arguments, the copy module not only copies at the time of copying. If your requirement is to change the permissions of that particular file in the manage nodes, you can do that by using the mode keyword. You can also change the owner of the file and the group owner, group the file belongs to. All this you can do it by using the copy module. So copy module is used for changing the ownership, changing the group ownership, changing the permissions of the file that are copied to the manager nodes. Not just copying, you can also do some additional configurations. Okay, fetch module. The next module is fetch module. Fetch module is opposite of copy module. Copy module is for copying the files from controller to server 1, server 2, server 3. Fetch module is used for fetching the files from the manager nodes to the controller. From the manager nodes to the controller. That's possible by using the fetch module. So let's experience it. So when you want to experience this fetch module, first you need to clearly have an idea which file you want to fetch it. Which file you want to fetch it. For example, I want to fetch a file called as server.xml file. I want to fetch a file. What file I want to fetch? Server.xml file. This file I want to fetch it. This file I want to fetch it. Where is the server.xml file? Let's go to one manager node. Let's go to one manager node. Let's say I'm going to server 1. This is the public IP. I'm going to a specific manager node. Sorry. First, you should come back to controller. Go to a specific manager node. Why is it prompting for password? It should not prompt for password. I'll show you want to connect. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to manager node. In etc under Tomcat 8 directory, there's a file called as server.xml file. There's a file called as server.xml file. Not only in this machine, you also have server.xml file in the second node as well as in the third node. All the nodes are having common file, one file called as server.xml file. Now you know the location where the server.xml file is available. Let's come back to controller machine. There is server.xml file. I want to get this particular server.xml file from node to controller. From node, I want to get back that file to the controller machine. So Ansible all, which module I'm using here? Fetch module. Source, what you want to fetch? I want to fetch server.xml file. You need to mention the location under /etc/tomcat8. This is the file I want to fetch. Fine. It will fetch it. Destination, where you want to copy it? I want to copy it in the temporary directory. I want to copy in the temporary directory, become for higher privileges. So when you do this, what happens? Interesting. Observe here. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Fetch module has successfully. So finally, in our controller, how many server.xml files will be available? As the fetch module has executed 3 times, as we have 3 managed node, we should have 3 what files? Server.xml files, isn't it? Where can I see that server.xml file? It's a destination. You have mentioned that you not have it in the temporary directory. So let's go to temporary directory. Let's go to the temporary directory. In the temporary directory, you should have how many server.xml files? As fetch module has got 3 files from the managed nodes, we should have 3 server.xml files. But are you able to see server.xml files? No. You are unable to see server.xml files. But can you see we have 3 IP addresses? These are nothing but directories. A directory gets created. The name of the directory is nothing but the name of the IP address of that particular managed node. Okay, I want to go to this particular directory. In this directory, can you see we have under etc under Tomcat 8. Can you see server.xml file? So because you have to track, if the assume first point, can we have 3 file names with the 3 files with the same name in a particular directory? It's not possible. And you should know which server.xml file belongs to which node. How can you track it? You cannot track it, isn't it? So that is the reason what fetch module will do. Whenever you run a fetch module, first it creates a directory. The name of the directory will be same as managed nodes. In that particular directory, you get the files of that particular node so that you can easily track which file belongs to which node. Got it? That's the beauty of server.xml file. Okay. Okay. See, you will find 3 folders. The names of the folders are nothing but the IP addresses of the managed nodes. Are nothing but the IP addresses of the managed nodes. Okay. Yes. Git module. Perform Git related operations. For example, I want to download GitHub repository in all the manager nodes. I want to download GitHub repository. First, let's go to GitHub repository. Any repository. So, for example, let's say we have a repository REP1. Yes, we have a repository REP1. Repo1. This is the repository URL. Ansible all Git module arguments mention the repository URL. And this repository, you can observe here, we have 1.java, 2.java, 3.java, 4.java, and 5.java. That particular files will be cloned, downloaded. Where I want to download it, you mention the location where you want to download. So in this particular location, the files will be downloaded to all the managed nodes. We have 3 nodes, right? So this particular GitHub Git module is used for performing Git related operations. Exit. Okay. Yellow color. Done. Files has been downloaded from the GitHub repository to which machine? to server 1, server 2, server 3. If you want to verify it, yes, you can do that. Go to a particular manager node. Let's say I want to go to this 218 manager node. Because I have mentioned that I want to download it in the temporary directory, so go to the temporary directory. MyGit is the name of the MyGit is the, again you mentioned it as in MyGit directory. So 1.java, are you able to clone? Did you get the download the files? Whenever you want to perform Git related operations on the managed nodes, we have a special module called as Git module, which helps you to do that. Okay, clear? Service module for starting, stopping, and restarting the services. You have Tomcat running in all the manager nodes. You want to stop Tomcat in all the machines. Connecting to each and every machine manually, stopping the Tomcat, it takes long time. Using service module at one command, stop all the services. Look at this. Ansible all service module, which service you want to manage Tomcat 8. State equal to restart if you want to restart Tomcat 8. State equal to restarted for restarting a service. State equal to stop a service. State equal to started for starting a service. Exit to come back to controller. Done. The moment you're getting yellow color, that means you need to understand the command has successfully made some changes in the manager node. This is service module. Service is down. Tomcat is down now. Replace module. By looking at the name of the module, use it to replace a specific text with some other text. Okay. Now we all know that Tomcat 8 is running in Tomcat 8 is installed in server 1, server 2, server 3. In all the manager nodes, we have installed Tomcat 8. Okay. In that, as we have installed Tomcat 8, there's a file called server.xml file. I want to go to that particular manager node. Go to one particular manager node. Go to Tomcat 8 directory. There's a file called as server.xml. Open that server. This XML file contains information about what port number Tomcat should run. We all know Tomcat runs on default port number what 8080. Where it is defined that it should run on 8080, that is defined in server.xml file. Open, I'll show you. Open the server.xml file. In this server.xml file, scroll down. There is an option called connector port. This will define. So here 8080. Here it is defined that it should run on 8080. So where it is defined that the Tomcat should run on 8080, it is available. It is defined in server.xml file. Look for the connector port to see the port in which the Tomcat is running. That's 8080. Now the client requirement is we want to change the port number of all the manager nodes. Tomcat should not run on 8080. Tomcat should run on 7070. This is the client requirement. They want to change the port number of all the Tomcat. server. So that means you should make changes to server.xml file. Okay, exit to come back to controller machine. Exit to come back to controller machine. Look at this. Ansible all. What module I'm using? Replace module. What text you want to change? 8080. With what you want to change? I want to change it to 9090. Regular expression is nothing but the actual current text in the file. And what you want to replace with 9090. Which file you want to replace? I want to replace server.xml file present in this particular path. When you run this command, what happens? Server.xml file, wherever the value 8080 is there, that will be replaced with 9090. Then change. Now does Tomcat runs on 9090? Take the public DNS or take the public IP. Now tell me, is Tomcat running on which port number we have changed it to 9090? Is it working? Why this is not responding? We will not get the page because you need to restart the service. Whenever any changes in the port number, you should restart the service. And if you want to restart the service, we have service module which helps you to restart that. Then restart. Now can I verify whether Tomcat is running on 9090 instead of 8080? It works. If you're seeing this page via browser, it works. I have done Tomcat configuration. I have changed the 8080 to 9090 in all the managed nodes. Yes, that's possible. So you should be in a position to use the module as and when required to accomplish a specific task. That's how the replace module will work. URI module. We have one more module called URI. Use it to check whether URL is reachable or not. Use it to check whether whether a particular website is reachable in managed nodes or not. What do you mean reachable? If you want to check whether a particular site is able to open in server 1, server 2, server 3, whether a particular URL is able to communicate or not. Any URL, if you want to check whether it is working or not, are you able to communicate from the managed nodes or not? Yes, it is possible using URI module. Now I want to check whether Facebook is reachable for all the managed nodes or not. So if you can do that, you can do that. URI module, URL, mention Facebook site. Status equal to 200, you should mention it. Status equal to 200, you will get it if this site is reachable. If the site is not reachable, status you get it as -1. So this is a default number. General status equal to 200 is used if it is reachable. Correct? (252) is controller machine, right? Okay. Looks like URI module is deprecated. Okay, looks like this module is deprecated. Let me check. Okay, why we are not getting it?
No, it says unsupported parameters, right? So the message parameter, if you check this message,
Unsupported parameters for URI module. Looks like some problem with the parameters.
yeah.
Okay, one thing. Need to mention the status. Not required. So, by default, you get status 200. Yes, it's running perfectly. And yes, status 200. You get URI module return status 200 if the website is reachable or a particular URL is reachable or not. And you are getting it in green color because you have not made any changes in the managed node. Did you use a command made any changes in the managed node? No. It is just checking whether a site is particularly reachable or not. That's it. So you're getting it in green color. Okay. So let's say if you give invalid URL, then status it returns as -1. Status. That's the behavior of the URI module. If a site is reachable or not, if you want to check it from the controller level, you don't need to connect to managed node and check whether the site is reachable. From the controller level, you can do that. Okay. Now, using service module, I just want to stop Tomcat 8. Okay. You can do that, isn't it? Service Tomcat 8 state equal to stop to stop Tomcat 8. Okay. So now look at the requirement. The requirement is, this is an example of integrating all the modules one after the other. I want to install Tomcat 8 APT module for installing software packages. I want to copy users.xml file copy module. I want to change the port number of Tomcat 8 replace module. I want to restart Tomcat 8 service module. Finally, I want to check whether URL is reachable or not URI module. So when you want to do configurations, it's not one activity. You need to perform some series of activities like this. You want to install Tomcat 8 and you need to copy one file, and then you want to change the port number. You need to restart it, and then you need to check it. So for that, you need to run one by one. Let's see. First, let's uninstall because I want to install again from the scratch. State equal to apt module for installing Tomcat 8 state equal to present. Yes, it happens. Copy module tomcat-users.xml file, you'll copy it. Replace module to replace specific string because you want to change, the client wants to change the port number. Once the port number is changed, to get the new port number activated, you need to restart the service by using service module. And if you want to check whether Tomcat is running individually, take the IP addresses and then mention the IP addresses. Status 200 not required. By default, it returns 200. You don't need to mention it, is it? Like this, you should perform some series of activity. Okay, instead of writing individual commands, you can write a playbook and run the book. Playbook is something like, so this is performing configuration using commands. You can do configurations using playbooks. Playbook is something similar to, you can relate it as a procedure. In programming language, we create a method or a procedure, and whenever you want, you call it, isn't it? In the same way, the series of activities, you write it in a small program and then you save it and run it. That's called as a playbook. Playbook makes Ansible more easier rather than writing individual commands. Create a playbook, and whenever you want, call the playbook to do the related activities. Okay, so in tomorrow's session, we'll also learn how can we use playbooks. Till now, we have learned, experienced how can we perform configurations using ad hoc commands. From tomorrow's session, we learn how can we perform configurations using playbooks. So that's our plan for our tomorrow session. So I want you to practice all this. Do configuration, perform, create controller, manage a node, and please practice. Deba, are you practicing it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. So I'll be mailing you this as usual. Please practice and see tomorrow where we'll continue the discussion on playbooks.
Hello.
Thank you,
Hello.
sir. Yes, I know.
Sir, first two classes notes will not be sent to me. Sir. Introduction
First 2 classes
class.
of Ansible of DevOps.
Yeah, DevOps.
Oh,
4th August and 5th August. You're telling some PPTs in waterfall model and agile model.
that's day 1.
Yeah, day 1.
Introduction, that is. Okay. Okay. Next, what is other one?
4th and 5th, sir. First 2 days.
That is 15th August. Yeah?
No, sir. Class will be started on 4th August and 5th.
See, Linux commands we have started on 7th August.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In PPT, what you tell the DevOps using agile methodology and waterfall methodology.
That PPT
Some
you want, right?
advantages of yeah, that PPT.
Okay, I'll share it to you.
Advantages and disadvantages.
Okay, I'll share it. Okay. Can you send me a mail? Huh? I'll reply to
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
sir.
Okay then. Thank you. Bye everybody. Thank you.